There's a glimmer I want to realize with you. Look, it's waiting. Let's jump with sidetrack.
Sidetrack, we're getting sidetracked. Yes, we're getting sidetracked. What were we talking about?
Yung podcast!
Wait, are we recording already?
Yeah, we were just about to start.
Should we start that again?
Again?
Nah, it's fine.
Side?
Chat?
Where? Hi, I'm Bree.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Lila.
So I'm really excited today. I don't know why.
You're always
masyadong
excited.
maraming, yeah, it's Ainana. So Bree's like very excited. But
Oh,
I'm dying here because I'm sick.
wait, wait,
So,
wait, wait, wait. ASMR, ASMR. Yay!
There was a struggle there.
Medyo mahirap.
I
Nahirapan ako
saw the
doon.
struggle.
So I'm drinking today as well. So I'm really that's how excited I am. So this episode is IDOLiSH7 Second Beat. This is the second season of IDOLiSH7. If you haven't listened to our first episode of IDOLiSH7, that is the episode before this one. We talked about the first season and vibrato there. And so for this one, we're just talking about second beat only. This the only changes from first season is that they introduced a new group called Rivale, the Senpai group, and we'll be talking about that now. So speaking of Rivale, what do you think? Do you
My
guys
parents. They're my
Yes.
parents. I love them so much.
It's I feel like it's the ship. Like it's
Mhm.
the ship.
That is true. So what do we think of Yuki?
I don't really have much opinion about Yuki. I get that the whole season, he's fixated on finding a certain person. So, I feel like the spotlight was more on Momo
Mm.
and his struggles. So, yeah, I don't really have much opinion on Yuki. That's it. He's a handsome dude.
He's
That's it.
so beautiful.
For me, like the first thought that came to mind, especially with like that scene with Yuki and Yamato.
Yeah.
I'm still confusing their names. There's so many characters. So don't
It's
blame me.
Yamato.
Yeah. The first word that came to mind with that scene is that sus. Yuki is just suspicious. Yun yung naano ko. Like he's so suspicious.
Sassy
And like
baka.
I'm just I
Whoa.
was I was just basta parang I've it seemed like he was gonna do something wrong, even though I know he won't. Kasi yun nga, sabi din naman ni Brie na the actual antagonists are different.
Yeah.
But still, like, the way he talked to Yamato didn't help him at all. Also, they're so married. Momo and Yuki. Just the way they interacted with each other. I'm like, I see the ship. I see the vision.
I get
And
it.
I agree. I say
Parents.
How about
exactly.
Momo?
Best boy. I love him.
Yes.
Best boy.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Yun din. Yun like the first time I saw him, I'm like, I like this guy. I felt very safe with him. Parang
I
ganon.
think that is the best description that you can come up with Momo is that he just makes you safe.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a very I don't want to spoil obviously, but it's going to be a very big indicator of his character, the way that he makes you feel safe. And it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. We'll
We
find out.
never know.
But with
Only
Momo,
Brie knows.
exactly.
Remember when you asked why their seasons was called Beat? And I said it's because they beat you up. That's why.
It's a very good description of it. Um, honestly, I only pray whenever I watch Ainana, so that's a big indicator there.
There was one time I was staying over and she was watching IDOLish7. I see her pacing around the room and like praying.
For everybody's context, that was third beat part two. So you know shit was going down.
Oh my
um
gosh.
but going back to Momo, I think with Momo, he's really big on facade.
Mm.
I just want you guys to remember that he's very big on facade. Again, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Momo reminds me of how I feel with Nagi. It's like it's usually the most cheerful characters that
Yeah,
would hurt you.
that so true. um. Oh, speaking of Momo and Yuki, I really love in episode 10. This is a shout out with like how I think I mentioned this before, but I really love how Ainana like Troika specifically they do the ending songs. Like they weave their ending songs with the episode. So may times na iba yung ending song from like the usual ending songs, and then if you read the lyrics, it matches the scene perfectly. And ang example ko dyan is yung episode 10 nga. With episode 10, Momo was having like this monologue thing. And then he was like, he ended the episode asking Yuki like questions and stuff about their partnership and shit. And then the ending song in the background started playing, and then it's just Yuki singing. It's like it's not even a Rivale song. It's just Yuki singing, and you when you read the lyrics, it's just him trying to answer Momo's questions. It was really good. I love how they like weave that in. And also, in episode 1, when they were pretending to be mean, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the whole gang, like buong IDOLiSH7, they were like surprised and shit. But Yamato's just not even surprised. He's the only one. Yung filter nun is parang they were white, 'di ba? In shock. And
Yeah.
then it's just Yamato na
I think
like
when I saw that scene, I just thought Yamato's just unfazed all the
yeah,
time.
right?
I
You would
don't know why
think
he
that.
makes him
It's
calm.
really it was
Like
really
it's
cool.
not, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not that he has a connection with Yuki. It's just that
Mm.
you just can't catch him like unaware of anything. Like
Yeah,
he's just
right?
chill.
That's what I thought as well. Like I didn't think too much about it when I
Yeah,
first saw it. I was like,
yeah,
"Oh, Yamato's just being Yamato." And then they had like this connection. I was like, "Shit."
yeah. That's
There was a
surprisingly
reason.
true. Kaya pala, hindi siya, kaya pala unfazed siya.
But speaking of Rivale, Banri, all you it was very satisfying to see your reactions with the reveal.
I never saw it coming. Kasi honestly, I do remember that he was a musician. I do
Mm,
remember that. Pero the only thing for me about that particular detail is that I was just curious on how he is. But I never really connected the dots when we got to that point.
yeah,
Mm.
I never made the connection. So I just thought, oh, like, oh, he used to be a musician. Maybe that's why he's in this industry. Because usually, diba, if you used to be a musician and you're from a company, sometimes you're interested in doing like the background work
yeah.
once you retire. So I thought it's just that. I never realized that
Yeah,
he
it just
has like a
makes
bigger
sense.
role. Yeah.
To be honest though, when I like with my first time watching it, the only reason I even thought about it, like I wasn't 100% sure na, oh, Banri's the old partner, parang ganun. I thought about it when they showed the picture, yung first time na pinag-usapan nila yung partner ni Yuki, and his face was like shadowed. His hair, I was like, he looks like Banri and Yori together. And I was like, what if Ban? I mean, he did have his 5th year anniversary, like Rivale, but I didn't like say that, it is Ban. Parang it just like, pumasok lang siya sa brain ko na he looks like
Yeah.
Ban. It
Yeah.
might be Ban. But
Yeah.
I didn't actually remember that he was a musician. When
Oh,
we watched it together, again, yung nirewatch
that's when
natin
it
yung
clicked
season
for
1,
you.
nung sinabi niya, oh, I actually was a musician, I was like, oh shit, he said this. Oh,
Oh,
like legit, the
you
only reasoning ko for like even thinking Ban was the old partner was because of the picture.
when it comes to the hair, kasi di ba
Yeah.
yun yung nag-clue in sa'yo,
Yeah.
for me, I feel like medyo na-taint na ng clanad yung utak ko. Na parang just because they
Pare-pares
have the
buhok.
same hair doesn't mean it's just the same person. Parang dun pumasok yung isip ko. Kaya nung sinabi mo yon nung nanonood tayo, na,
Yeah.
oh, because I saw the hair, I saw the silhouette, so I thought it was Banry. Parang that's like a big clue. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's not. Just look at Clanad.
For me,
Clanad
I
says
mean,
no.
I was watching with zero brain cell. I don't know what's with me while we were watching season 2. That's why my notes hindi siya ganun kalaman. Pero when Yuki was like looking for his old partner, yung conversation, and then Momo overheard. Ang
mm,
Yeah.
iniisip ko nun, is Yuki dying? Is he dying? That's why he's trying to find a missing relative or something. Tas yun yung
Oh my
nawawala na
gosh.
ng oras si Momo. I didn't think that it was an old partner. That's why hindi ko rin naisip na Banri might be the old partner. Legit, wala nagkiklik sa brain ko when I was watching the second season.
but to be honest, I really like the way that they made Man the old partner. You'll see more of their interactions sa third beat and yung ano nila, yung history nila. But I actually really like that detail and the way na I feel like the president Takanashi Takanashi
Good
Takanashi sila,
president.
'di ba? Takanashi sila, 'di ba?
Ah.
um, yeah, si good president. I feel like he's just collecting strays of this
Yeah.
one. You're traumatized? Good, join us.
It's like a good version of Cujo.
Yeah, the good version
Oh.
of Cujo. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yung with sorry, with Yuki and Banri, yung na-note ko is the only time you ever saw Yuki show a lot of emotion was when he saw Banri again. And I
Mm-mm.
feel like that's a nice detail to show how close they both are and how much Yuki missed Banri. So yeah, wala lang.
I
I
mean, he
just
was
wanted
being
to say that.
creepy. That's very
I mean,
evident
True.
of how he missed him.
He was being
Ban
so
did
sweet.
say that he was being creepy. And you know
That's
what's
true.
funny is that Yuki used to be like more cold than he is now. Cause right now he's like joining in with Momo's jokes, right, and stuff.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Before he's very unsociable. He's like very cold. That's that's why it makes sense that Pan reacted that way. Cause like he's taken aback. Like, who is this dude? I don't know this dude. You're being creepy. You're not the Yuki that I know. And then I feel like it's all thanks to Momo as well. I think
Yeah.
Momo, like,
He softened Yuki.
yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Oh, yes. Get married.
Do we have anything else to say with Rivale?
I love their
Yung
songs.
kay Momo,
Yeah,
wala na, yung nakalagay lang sa notes ko right now is, like, I understand why it took Momo a while to kind of get over his insecurity. Especially
Mm.
since Yuki wasn't really the most showy
yeah.
with his appreciation for Momo. And so
Mm,
even though Yuki has told him, no, I appreciate you, no, I want you to stay, and then Momo's like, oh wow, that feels so nice to hear from you, and then he reverted back to being insecure.
yeah.
Parang, I get that. I feel like considering he was a fan, right? And this is
Mm,
like a fan idol type of dynamic. At least that's how it started. And I think it's understandable na Momo will feel inadequate. Kasi in
yeah.
the beginning, the reason he became part of Rivale was because he was a spare tire. And that
Mm.
he feels disposable. Now
Yeah.
once Banri comes back, he's gonna be put to the side. Parang ganon. I understand Momo's feelings a lot.
And I love how there was this one scene, if I'm remembering correctly. I think that's second beat where Yuki was like, "You created like the Rivale now is like the two of us."
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
That was second beat, right? I really
Yeah.
like the way that he said that because that's true. Like,
Yeah.
obviously Rivale started with Ban and Yuki, but
Yeah.
they wouldn't be the big idol group that they are now if it wasn't for
Hmm.
Momo.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's the faces of Rivali that the world knew. It's the
Yeah,
one with Momo. So like he
exactly.
is Rivale. Like he you can't take away Rivale away from Momo.
And it hurt when he was trying to sing,
Yeah.
even though technically the issue was resolved and he still
Yeah.
couldn't sing. It hurt
Yeah.
because you know how
Yeah.
deep the
That
issue is
it's
for him.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really shows how psychological problems could really manifest into like a physical problem.
Mhm.
And I
Ano
like
yung
how
tawag
they
doon?
did that with Momo.
Yung
Selective mutism.
no, it's not just that. Ano
Yung
yung conversion
psychological to
disorder?
physical. Yeah.
Conversion disorder. Like if there's something there's deeply psychological affecting there's something deep that's affecting you psychologically. Word vomit. It can manifest in like a physical way. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna lose the ability to function in on
Yeah.
like one part of your body. Wala lang.
Parang a
We're
good
not diagnosing
example.
him. It's just a remind. It's just reminding me
I
of
mean,
that.
a lot of times it could happen even if it's not like you don't really have to diagnose it. Like with stress specifically, if you're
Yes.
too stressed, diba, you can like have fevers and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's manifesting into a physical problem.
Or you can have like chest pains. You feel like you're gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah. Another character, another Momo like character, Mitsuki.
Oh, fans are
What do we
shit.
think of Mitsuki? That's
Fans
true.
are shit. Like I can say
Yeah.
that as a fangirl myself,
Yeah.
who's like a fan of idols.
Yeah.
Fans are shit,
Mm-hmm.
especially the ones who feel like they have all authority to judge someone.
Mm-hmm.
Alam mo yun? Na parang, oh, this person is so much better. Why is he speaking so much? I'm like, why are you talking at all? Like,
Like, you
why
know that
speak at all?
that thing in episode 7 when fans are turning off other fans
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
about the idol? It's very, you can see it very prevalent in this industry. Like people would say,
Yes.
"Oh, I think this group is good, but the fans are so I don't really
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
stand them,"
Yeah.
kind of
I
At
thing.
see it all the
first,
time.
Yeah, I see it
at
all the time
first,
as well.
at first I didn't understand that. I'm gonna admit, like at first I didn't understand that because in my head, if you're if you want to support the idol, you're there for the music. And then I remembered my feelings for certain fandoms, and I'm like, I get it. I get it now because I feel
Right?
the same way. Again,
Mm.
I mean, we're not here to drop any names and shit. We're not even here to clue in on anything. If like our listeners are thinking of certain fandoms, that's a you problem.
If the shoe fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the shoe fits, then the shoe fits. Alam mo yun. But I feel like the point that we just want to bring up here is that it's very real. Whatever was depicted in this like Mitski arc, it's very real. It's happening. It's
Mhm.
happening right now. Do you see the
Honest.
world burning, guys?
But like honestly, I like how they cuz it obviously it's still a show, right?
Yeah,
So you would want to see like happy stuff there. And I like how they depicted na 'di ba those fans, like those like really huge Ainana fans. They were being like it's not fun here anymore. Everybody's fighting and stuff. All
yeah,
like the solo stands are fighting and shit.
yeah.
And then they started talking about the idols lang,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and then they started like remembering the reason why they like standing them and supporting them, and then they were laughing together and stuff. I feel like that happened to me before. Parang it was very tiring to be in this in a certain fandom, like oh everybody's fighting all the time, and then I remembered the good parts of the idols that I stan, and then it made me kind of like revived. Parang,
That's why I
Mm-hmm.
left Stan Twitter.
yeah,
Because
me
I
too.
can't stand
Yeah.
fans.
I'm
I
still
love
I'm
my
still on
idols.
I'm still on Stan Twitter, mainly because I want that separation from my personal account. Because like my followers on my personal account aren't K-pop
No, I
fans,
don't
so like I
care.
don't. No,
um,
it's ano rin, it's like for my own sanity then, because like if it's
yeah,
mixed, it stresses me out.
Going back to Mitski,
Anyway,
though,
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
he reminds me so much of Sungwan from 17.
yeah,
And you guys know
Mm,
how
yeah,
I feel about Sungwan. He's the boy that I want to protect. So I'm
mm,
feeling the same way
yeah.
with Mitski. I do believe that he'll have his time to shine. Usually, fans tend to take some time to warm up or fully acknowledge that a member like Mitsuki is very essential to the growth of the group.
Yeah.
And he's basically an important backbone as to why the group is getting
Attention.
this traction, like the success
Yeah.
that they're getting now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's promotion. It's always
Yeah,
promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, the sad thing is, there's a lot of fans who will not realize that. Like, they will be stuck in their
mm,
own ways.
that's
And,
true.
like, you can tell that these are people who are chronically online.
Touch grass.
And I
Yeah.
think ang pinaka-growth ni Mitski dito is how to ignore that. Like,
Yes.
he did say na, I don't need everybody to love me. Ganon ganon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it hurts him if the people that love like his members don't like him. Parang ganon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yung speech niya doon when he was talking to Nagi, I feel like was very painful to hear because that's the thing with I'm not saying that he has like very intense people pleasing in him, but he does have those parang he kind of have it kasi he knows himself na parang wala siyang talent and stuff like he's been saying that 'di ba parang
Because
I'm
I
not a
think
good
it's
dancer, I'm not a
also,
good singer, ganyan
yeah,
ganyan.
it's also fueled for the fact that the only reason he's part of the group was because
Yeah.
that was
Mm,
Yori's condition.
Yeah, but
So it kind of stuck in his head.
he doesn't he doesn't even realize I don't think the president would like say yes to like Yori is
Yeah.
not the best.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
like
saying that
Yori,
Yori's not talented, but like
yeah,
Yori's not like the best
yeah.
idol in the world na if
Na it's
gagawin lahat
essential.
ng
You have to
yeah,
be here.
parang gagawin lahat ng
Yeah.
president para mapunta siya. Parang
if
I
that
don't
was the
Yeah.
case, he'd end up with Kujo.
right.
True. True, true, true.
So like
So
I'm pretty sure the president even said yes to Yori because he saw potential in Mitski.
exactly. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Mitski
I agree.
doesn't realize this, and he
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Which is,
I would say though, ito yung kanina ko pa gusto sabihin, pero hindi ko
yeah,
kasi alam kung saan ko i-insert.
yeah,
Yung hate na nakuha ni Mitski, especially from like Akis, di ba
yeah,
Akis, like solo stands? Yeah, like especially from Akis, it's very watered down
yeah.
compared to what happens in real life and like all the shit that fans usually say
Mm.
or
I think
Akis usually say. It's very watered
I
down.
think they tried not to like make it as
Yeah,
intense as it because they're already I told you the melodrama in this anime is like going like upwards. So I don't think that they'll create like the intensity of that
in the
there
middle.
because
Yeah,
there's so much more intensity happening
yeah,
elsewhere.
yeah. I get that. Yeah,
Pero
I
that
just
is
I
true. I do
yeah,
agree with that na
yeah,
in real life it's more like
yeah.
intense. Yeah.
It's just something that I noticed because, like, although it's true that
Mm,
happens, there's more to it most of the time,
yeah.
and sometimes like it escalates in like a physical sense. Alam mo yun?
Mm.
And I just don't like the fact ito pa yun eh. Like okay fine, go fight your wars.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna stop you
and
because
like
like
it's
I don't
understandable
have
that you
the
will prefer some people
yeah.
over another. Like
But
that's
like
fine.
okay fine, go fight. But like you don't have to tag the members.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
That's
don't
what
have to
pisses me
show
off,
them
right?
exactly.
Like you're purposely trying to hurt them. That's what
Yeah,
pisses
I
me
I
off.
I feel like that's the intent. Is that
Yeah.
they hate this
Mm.
person so much that they want them to hurt.
Like
Alam mo yun?
the thing is, they're doing it for you. Like they're doing the
Mm.
idol thing for you.
Yeah,
Idols, technically, in a sense, like their
yeah,
jobs are to entertain the fans.
yes.
So they're doing it for you. So if you don't like it, then just go elsewhere.
Yeah, look elsewhere. Plus,
That's
ito po
why
yung pinaka-hate ko din, na
yeah,
parang
go ahead.
to uplift, sorry, like to uplift one member, they will hate on the rest to the point that they will even say, just go solo. Like you would do better if you go solo. And I'm like, no. I mean,
Like,
part
do
of
you
it could
think
be true, but like, do you think this person isn't good? Like, it's
they
like,
like it?
yeah, exactly. Are they gonna be comfortable knowing that the fans that that supports them is like you?
I mean, like, you
Like,
don't have to. Okay, fine. If you like this specific member, you don't have to like all of the members.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah. But
but
to say, like,
you
to be
don't.
that harsh,
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get the mentality of those people.
I
Yung
genuinely just never get the idea of hating someone because you
so
just want to hate,
yeah, and like
right?
to the point where you're so brave na you're gonna say it to your idol's face, like what the fuck.
Hmm.
Alam mo yun. Pero
There
most of the
there
time
are
though, the
idols that
people,
I don't like,
Mm.
but I
yes,
don't
me
go
too.
online and hate on
Me
them.
too. Like it's so easy and it's so peaceful to just mind your business. Alam mo
Yeah,
Like,
just
yun?
shut up.
right? I don't even talk about them with my friends. Like, I don't purposely
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
you guys and say I don't like this idol
Yeah.
so much and
Minsan,
then list out a
yeah.
thing.
Minsan we only talk about it if something happened.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we come forward like, yeah, and then I was like, I never really liked them.
Yeah.
It's just that if something happens, but we don't like, oh, I saw this one idol and you know what? I hate them.
Right? Like,
We don't do that.
we don't purposely go, like, we purposely talk about the things that we like.
Exactly. Exactly.
Going back to Mitsuki again, I really like episode 8 where he's just being the best big brother to Yori, even
Yes.
though
Oh my god. Yes.
even though he's hurting himself, he saw Yori sad and hurting himself, and then he just set aside his problems and, like, even
It's a
created
it's a
the
very
things.
older sibling thing,
Yeah, right.
I would
I hope
say.
my older sister's like that. But anyway, I really love that na, and he's the only person na Yori's comfortable with, like, sharing na he likes cute stuff, na he's not pretending or anything.
Oh my
Uh,
god,
right?
that, oh my god, you just reminded me of that scene. You sabi niya, can you make it a bear shape? And
Yeah.
then Mitsuki's like, okay, I'll make it bear shape. I'm like, what the fuck? It's so cute.
Yori only allows himself to be the opposite of what his image is in front of
With
Mitsuki.
Mitsuki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how they portray how close they are.
Yes.
Cause
Even
all
though
the
they're
siblings
fighting.
in the fucking universe
I
is like hating each
know.
other. At least we
Cause
have
like
Mitsuki and
I
Yori.
mean, I mean, if in season one, right, they showed us that Mitsuki and Yori kind of had like a rocky thing going on between them,
Mm,
but they still showed how close they are and how much they love each other.
yeah. I mean,
Like it's
Mitsuki
like a
has that
normal
in
sibling thing.
yeah, Mitsuki has that insecurity, but what I like about it is that he doesn't let that insecurity, like, ruin their relationship to
Yeah,
no repair. Parang
yeah,
he still loves and cherish
yeah.
Yori.
It's just like a very like normal sibling rivalry,
Yeah.
like the normal level. Because I know certain sibling rivalries escalate a lot.
Yeah.
Just look at Rico and Ten.
We don't talk about those siblings.
But we will.
we're gonna, we're gonna talk about them later.
Oh, speaking of like younger, like older sibling Mitsuki, you know what? Sometimes I actually forget that Mitsuki is older than Nagi
Is
because
it because of his height?
parang
You're
no, no,
saying short?
no, no. The way na he always leans to Nagi for support,
Mm,
and
yeah,
Nagi in, like, their dynamics, Nagi's always like the one trying to comfort Mitsuki and stuff. So
yeah,
sometimes you kind of forget na, oh right, Nagi is like younger than Mitsuki. Mitsuki's not even like this with, like, the other older members like Sogo and Yamato. May pagkaano siya kay Yamato. Pero the way that Yamato and Mitsuki work is that they just help each other.
Mm.
Parang as older member to older member, we're the kuyas in this group, so we, like, try and support each other. But with Naki and Mitsuki, I feel like Mitsuki leans more to Nagi,
Mhm.
and Nagi supports him naman. Pero, like, with Nagi kasi he's not really that open about it. I don't know if Mitsuki would realize it, but, like, Nagi's really closed off
yeah.
with that type of parang he only allows himself to support others. He doesn't allow himself to be
To be
supported.
supported. Sorry, I
Kinda
just
like Sogo then.
Wait lang. Natawa ako kasi every time Bree says, Mitski always leans on Nagi. I'm like, I mean, height-wise, that's the only possible thing.
Stop saying his height. I
You're
do not
insinuating it.
I do not accept Mitski short slander in this community.
I'm sorry. Like the way you worded that, it's the only possible explanation.
Mitski, I love you.
Oh my god. Anyway, hindi ko na maalala kung ano sinasabi ko. I was gonna add the point kasi it's like a very important point kanina. I don't
Maybe
remember.
later it will pop up.
Maybe if I listen back to the recording, it will pop up.
When we're monitoring. Sure.
Uh-uh.
Tourist spots.
Hi, so this is Tourist Spots with Brie, another IDOLiSH7 recommendation, and now it's Incomplete Ruler. So for everybody in the fandom, I'm pretty sure you guys know what Incomplete Ruler is. But for everyone who hasn't heard, so Incomplete Ruler is one of the songs. I think that's part 5. And the singers are a spoiler. I'm trying my best not to say spoilers, but like I'm recommending songs from part 5. So not much. It's anyways, so Incomplete Ruler is a really good song. It's a duet song. It's a song about being lonely, being alone, and
Listen to Brie. Listen to Brie as she tries to
um,
explain the song
it's
without
being
spoiling
alone
anything.
and like that moment where you feel like you've lost everything and you're an incomplete ruler. You know what? You just listen to the song without having to check the lyrics or the context. Okay. The thing is, when this came out, because like in the game they only showed like a preview, not like a minute of a song. Usually the songs in the game itself, they only like you only hear, I guess, like one verse or a chorus. Like it's very short, and then they usually release the full version when they release albums or they release singles and stuff like that. So for Incomplete Ruler, for when part 5 came out, obviously it's just like the short version, and it's already good. Like whenever I listen to Incomplete Ruler, my heart hurts for some reason, and it's because of the context but also the singers itself. Like I've been waiting for that song for like forever, and then they released a compilation album. So they usually release like compilation albums, and I think this was released like early 2023, if I'm not mistaken. I think part 5 was released like late 2022.
Hmm,
I'm
it's
not
fairly
sure.
new.
I I don't remember anymore the timeline, but I'm pretty sure it was like early 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
And they released it with another song that I'm not gonna say anymore because it's also a spoiler.
Magpigil,
But
magpigil.
but when they released this, honestly, honest to goodness, I've listened to it so many times. Like it's on repeat every single day. So I feel like it was like a part of my Spotify replay thing because I've been listening to it on repeat, and then I also forced Lila and Kay to listen to it as well.
Yeah,
And Lila, you said that you really like it,
yeah,
right?
I did like it. Yes.
Mm. It's a really good song, and it's full of emotions for me. Like even without context, I feel like if you listen to it, it's a very emotional song. They performed this song in beyond the live beyond what ano ulit yun? Live 4 beat, live 4 beat. Exactly. Beyond the period. Putang ina. Ulitin ko yun. Uulitin ko. So they performed this song in live for Beyond the Period, the movie that they released 2023. Yeah, they released it 2023. I haven't watched the movie cuz it's not out in global, but they released the album. Oh wait, no, the DVD. They released the DVD December 2023, and again, I haven't watched it, so I haven't seen the performance, but it looks like it's good because they showed the preview of the performance on YouTube. Anyways, I keep talking about Incomplete Ruler. Incomplete Ruler is like my favorite, like my all-time favorite IDOLiSH7 song. That's why I'm recommending it.
Clearly.
So please listen to it. It's on Spotify. Again, Spotify is your best friend. Thank you.
Tourist spots.
Pero you know what? I'm actually really glad that Mitski, in a way, parang medyo nagkaroon ng closure in a way si Mitski.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I needed that.
We need that.
Buti pa siya.
Said
Buti pa siya
going
may
on.
closure. Buti pa
Kaya,
Revali may closure. Yung kambal wala pa rin.
pre, wala pang closure. Hindi pa close ang rival.
Ay, shit. I spoke too soon.
Speaking of another character that technically has a closed thing, Yori.
Ah, smooth.
Yeah.
Go, yeah. Into next point.
What do we think of Yori as a son?
Natatawa ako dyan. Kasi diba first episode yun?
Yeah,
Tapos, yung reaction ko dun. Kasi I watched the recording that we had for the watch party.
yeah.
Because I was trying to rename. Tapos nakita ko yung reaction. I was really shocked. Tapos naalala ko nasa notes ko. After the opening, Iori replacing Rico as center, then we cut to Mitsuki with zero fanboying. Excuse me, what do you mean Iori center? What the fuck happened?
You know what's funny about that is that kasi 'di ba first episode siya. So we were like still easing in the watch party. I remember that
What do you mean
vividly.
easing in? There's
Parang
no easing
we
in.
were watching it and then Kay was like, "What do you mean?"
Sorry,
And then
I was
Lila,
worried. Wait,
yeah.
wait, this is happening ni Kay. What do you mean easing in? My brain went to the gutter.
No.
I was I was gonna make a gutter joke. I was like, no, I should.
Don't brain rot now.
Bro,
Anyways,
I'm sick. I have
as
no filter.
as I was saying, I
Sorry.
remember Lilo was a bit slow nung time na yon. Kasi,
Aren't I
nagpe-prepare pa siya.
always?
No, nagpe-prepare ka pa nun eh. And then Kay was like panicking, what do you mean you're center? And then
I was eating as well.
yeah. And then Lilo was like, wait, what? And then you rewinded the episode. And then you were like, wait, why is he center?
It took her a few minutes.
I remember that. Tapos na
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing with Ainana, right? They love to intro the episode with a conflict, and then they give you a cliffhanger. That's what I hate. I'm like, what? Excuse me? Excuse me?
I remember that episode where we had to stop watching because Kay was, I think your head was hurting na.
Yeah,
And
you
then
were melting. And I was
Mhm.
panicking.
we stopped at an episode that was a very big cliffhanger, and then Lila was panicking. It's like, we're gonna stop here?
And then we just
Like,
left.
seriously?
And then we
Like,
just left.
yeah, guys, they left me. They left me in the call. They just left me. No goodbye, no nothing. They just disappeared. Oh my
And then
god.
we
That was.
got a very angry text message afterwards.
And
And
what
here's the thing. Here's the thing. The following week we're on break. So we can't watch anything. We can't
she
continue
had
it for
to
two
wait
weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, she had to wait 2 weeks to watch.
Because in case no one knows, we do the watch party every week. It's a weekly thing. So the fact that we left on a cliffhanger and I have to wait 2 fucking weeks because we have one break. I am very mad. I'm mad and I sad.
Oh no, we triggered her again.
Yori,
Oh my
Yori,
god,
Yori. We're going back to Yori.
I'm crying.
To
Oh my
Yori.
gosh.
Ayun na nga, nung in-announce na, like, they were planning to make Iori center, got a really bad feeling because he's already managing behind the scenes, and I know they don't talk. They have bad communication skills. So I know this is gonna cause misunderstanding.
None of them have good communication skills.
Yeah. Especially after it was announced, or while they were talking. Iori and manager were talking, and then Riku came in, and Iori was just like, "Go home so he can be alone with the manager." That's going to cause a lot of misunderstanding.
Yeah, because like it's either people are gonna think they're hooking up. God forbid they do, because he's a minor, or they're gonna think that, oh, he's trying to get like to get ahead. He's trying to like
Hmm.
go
Guys, I
farther.
think you're forgetting how naive Riku is.
Yeah, he
He
is.
doesn't think about those things. Like, he will never think Yori
We're
would,
giving,
like,
so you're saying no, we're giving him too much credit.
yeah, exactly. Riku would never think. I'm not saying he's dumb or shit, but like, he's never going to think that Yori's going to he's using it to, like, one up the members.
Yeah.
He's never gonna think that.
Okay. Okay.
With Riku, he's very pure. He's sheltered.
Are you saying we're unpure? How dare you?
Of course you are. What do you mean?
I know.
It's not even a question. That's what do you mean? But like, honestly, that whole center thing, that also like gave me like bad vibes, to be honest. I knew
Me
something
too.
was going to happen, and it did happen with the fans, because if you think about it, in season 1 they actually touched upon it slight, yung Riku fans versus Yori fans. And
Mm.
then nagkaroon ng parang conflict si Yori and si Riku. And then sa second season we just gave more ammunition to give like the debates between the two sides.
I
So
I remember nung, kasi diba I was very worried, if you guys heard. I was very panicky nung
yeah,
nangyari yung center switch.
yeah,
And I was like, I just know Riku's gonna get hurt. And then diba parang towards the quote unquote end of that conflict, they kind of resolved it, and Riku was
yeah.
like, I'm grateful that you're taking this and helping me, blah blah blah. I was relieved, but at the same time, I didn't trust it. I just know it doesn't end there. I just know something will happen. And something did happen. Okay.
Basically, IDOLiSH7 gives you trust issues.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't trust any of this.
Good. You're learning.
Kasalanan
Oh,
talaga ni Brie eh.
but like the Yori 10 conflict towards Riku, Lila has a lot to say about that.
Yeah, the
Oh, really?
autonomy of Riku. You said to remind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot my points about that. What did
Okay,
I
ako na lang
say?
magsasalita.
Yeah, what did I
No
say?
one
Sorry.
asked Riku though what he thought. Because like
Yeah.
Iori and Ten were putting words and like
And like they're
fighting.
both deciding for him, and that
Yeah.
Yeah.
rubbed me the wrong way, because like, who
Yeah.
the fuck are you to do?
Hmm.
Ang problem kasi nito is they are all treating Riku as a child.
Yeah.
I mean, he is sheltered, but he still has thoughts.
Yes. Yes,
And
like no one asked him. Everyone's just like, Rico, do this, Rico, do that. No, don't do that, do this instead.
like, they think na they're protecting Riku, but it's going to hurt him in the long run. And
Yeah.
I did say like stuff about Ten. I mean, I did tell you, I warned you guys that Ten will annoy you in season 2. I
He
Not
cannot
did.
necessarily
He annoyed
annoy
me
me
so much.
though.
He annoyed me so much.
I cannot defend him without spoiling season 3. I mean, I'm not going to say much about 10 because I want to say that in our season 3 discussion. Pero I get it, but I do get as well yung point ni Lila na they should have at least let Riku decide for himself.
Mhm.
Parang
Yeah.
10's
At least
being,
ask him.
yeah, right?
Especially since I mean, I don't think I've brought this up ever, but I greatly appreciate Yori standing up to like help the group, right? He's like helping the manager and stuff. Because let's be real, even the manager is like a newbie here. She's also learning. And so Yori's kind of like they're kind of helping each other,
Yeah.
right? The thing that rubbed me the wrong way is like I at least from my perspective, the way Yori speaks about his role with managing the group is like I will make them famous. I will do this for them. I will make sure that this will happen. It's almost he speaks as if he has the power over everything, and I guess position wise or like unofficial position wise, he kind of does, but it just rubs me the wrong way because it really the thing that it shows me is that he doesn't really regard too much what the rest of the group will think. He does
Um
consider their talent. He's always like he has his talent, so I trust that he can do this, so I will put them in this position. But I feel like the negative side of that was amplified when the Yori 10 conflict happened.
ang problem kasi with Yuri, he's very logical. That's the thing. He doesn't really think too much of emotions. So since he's very logical, he only trusts the results. That's why he's rubbing you the wrong way. Is that he's not thinking of anything else but the results, logically wise. And that's why parang he's very confident na what he's thinking will work, because he knows that it will work. Proven na it will work, because logically speaking, it will work. Parang ganon. He Ang problem nun is he doesn't think of it emotionally. So when there's emotions na parang conflicts the decisions, he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And Riku's very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
He's very big in emotions and feelings. Kaya sila lagi nagko-contradict with each other.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. So
Yeah.
parang whenever Riku's emotions come to play, Yori doesn't know what to do anymore, because
Yeah.
it's contradicting the logical side of him. Parang ganon.
Yeah. What this is reminding me of is yung discourse between STEM and humanities and humes. Yung STEM majors need humanities too. Alam mo yun? Like the logical aspect of things need like the social context of things as well. Kasi I
Yeah.
think that's what Yori lacks. That's why it's rubbing me the wrong way. Every single time he brings up something that he's doing for the group, I'm like, great, but are you considering what others would feel,
Mm.
what others would think? And like that was really heavily emphasized with the Yori 10 conflict. Because like I just felt bad for Riku. Like he's just there sitting and I'm like, bro, I'm here. You're talking about me and I'm right here. Have you ever asked what I feel?
And the
Alam mo yun?
problem is they're doing that in public as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
in front of all the staff.
Like it's so embarrassing for all of them, but it's also very humiliating for Riku
Mhm.
na parang hindi siya tinatrato as someone who can think for himself. And I really didn't like that. That's the one thing I do not like about Yori. And I'm hoping in like future seasons and like future chapters that's gonna get addressed and it's gonna be improved. I don't know. Only Brie knows. Possibly not as well kasi hindi pa siya na-address. I don't know. But that's what I'm
They still
hoping
don't know
for.
how to talk to each other, so I don't have high hopes.
Honestly, ang problem ko with Yori is he's very logical towards Riku. Problem ko naman kay Ten is he only thinks of Riku as
As this
sick.
helpless little brother.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't say much. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It makes sense because Riku was always sick and he's always taking care of him. Just say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
Kasi
that's what he got
yung
used
end
to.
ng sentence ko,
It's a spoiler.
pa-spoil na. Oo. So parang, okay,
Okay.
titigil lang ako. Hindi ko alam kung paano siya i-unspoiler.
Pero yun, yeah. Like, I get it na yung nakasanayan ni Ten. But like, first of all, you left and things will change. I
Yeah.
think it's a given that things will change. And they're both adults now. He should
Mm.
expect for things to change. And so it's really iffy for me for
Yep.
Ten to act as if Riku never grew up and he did. Like he's the only one who grew up and Riku
And
never
I
never
think
did.
that's
And I'm
what
like, no.
Yori and Gak keeps telling Ten. Not Ten. I think the thing is though, I really think I do believe that Ten knows it. He just doesn't want to accept it
Yeah, he's denying it.
because
It's my spoiler, no?
he's in
my,
denial.
my spoiler, no? My spoiler.
He's not accepting it because he lost the years that he could have been spending with Riku.
I like that end of sentence. We'll go with that.
No, that makes sense. I don't know if it's canonical, but it makes sense. Now yun yung reasoning. Na
Yeah.
parang, I wanna treat you like a little brother still because I lost that role when I left. Parang. But like again, it's like it's removing Riku's autonomy. And I'm like, I'm very big on autonomy. I'm very big on like every single person having the full capability to think for themselves. Unless obviously something happens and they cannot decide for themselves. There are exceptions.
Mm.
But I do believe in that. And like that's like essentially being stripped away from Riku. And
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
like no one lets him speak. Like if you
Yeah,
guys
no
notice,
one
every time
asked.
yeah, like every single time they talk about Riku, Riku is just silent. He's like talked over.
And the thing is, Riku doesn't fight it because
Yun din.
he's used to it.
Yun
Kasi
din. I
he
feel like
grew up,
that's yeah.
parang, yeah, he grew up na everybody's deciding for himself. So
Yeah.
now he doesn't know how to do it for himself.
Yeah. I guess that's why I feel so much for him in a sense kasi
Mm.
that's something that he has to learn himself, right? And I get that kapag yun yung nakasanayan mo growing up, it becomes very difficult to unlearn that. So I sympathize with Riku, but it doesn't mean I'm not frustrated for him.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up for like with my feelings about the Riku Ten Yori situation. But let the man speak. He's right there. Like he's literally in between you, according to the camera shot. Like let him speak.
How about Kay?
For me, it's mostly regarding the fans and how they were fighting and how it's the company's job to inform about changes in the group to
Mhm.
avoid, the issue in the first place.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's where they failed, right?
no, they mentioned, they announced
They
it.
Did they?
did, but very
Oh.
last minute. Like, nangyari
Ah,
na yung
yeah.
center change, tapos dun na sila nag-announce.
Yeah,
And it
dapat
was
in-announce
very
sila beforehand.
frustrating.
No, but like, they announced it
No,
because
like,
they will change it.
yeah, they announced it on the day that IDOLiSH7 is performing with Iori as the center.
Yeah, that was their plan na they will perform today. So they're going to announce it. Parang ganon.
Yeah, pero dun na
Parang
nila in-announce.
gusto mong announcement before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
para
Parang
ready lahat, walang magugulat. And
ah
like so like the expectation is it's not permanent. Kasi it seemed like the
ah
way they executed it, it seemed like it's gonna be a permanent thing. That's why everyone's like wishing that just let
oh,
Yuri be the center. But like if
they
they
they like
communicated,
announcing it when ano na do, like on the day. They don't really do announcements like beforehand.
which yun nga, parang yung point yata ni Kay
Mm.
is it would have been better if it was like earlier. So at least
Mm.
parang merong time na mag-process yung fans and the expectations have been settled na
Yeah.
this is what's gonna happen and then eventually it will go back to this.
Honestly, ang ano ko lang is I want to know kasi they never actually said it. Like I want to know what they told the fans regarding the reason why nag-change ng center in the first place. Kasi
Yeah,
they're not
they
going to
never said
announce,
it.
yeah, they're not gonna
No.
announce Riku's illness. I don't know what they did, but they never like really specify it. Obviously, they're going to say something, but they didn't
Yeah.
really specify it. I guess they thought na it's not gonna be that important, pero you're gonna
I
see
Which
that
is a
a
feel
lot.
mistake on that on their
yeah.
part. Because it
Yeah.
caused a
I
lot
feel
of
like
No,
issues.
no, no, no. I mean, I feel like in the story itself, they obviously said something. They obviously said the reason. Pero parang hindi na siya masyadong bringing up sa
yeah.
game or
Hindi
sa
siya
anime.
hindi siya finocus.
Oo, hindi siya
Mm.
finocus kasi
Oo.
I don't
I feel
think
like
they
kasi
thought
'di
about.
ba kasi 'di ba it was Riku's wish to not disclose that he has an illness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And I feel like there is a way to communicate na Riku's just a bit unwell. That's why there's this temporary center change and that he will come back later
Mm.
without really disclosing the extent of the
Yeah,
illness.
I think they said something like that. Ang problem lang is
Oh.
they didn't really specify what it was. That was
Mm.
so I'm a bit curious on what it would have been. You're gonna see a
Yeah.
lot of those in the future. Parang
Mm-hmm.
you're just gonna assume yung announcements and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't focus on that too much.
Parang in terms of like storytelling, they didn't show it.
Yeah,
Parang ganun.
parang you're just
Okay.
gonna assume na, okay,
I guess
kaya
they
okay
did.
na lahat
Parang
kasi
ganun.
may sinabi na sila, parang
Mm.
ganon. Anyways, speaking of 10, eto na, ang hinihintay ko.
Oh my gosh!
Si Kujo
Ito yung super
Takamasa-san. Oh, alam ko na yung first name niya.
ito yung super bigat na arc. Putang ina.
So,
That's the opening line. Putang ina.
si Kujo, alam niyo, sobrang hinintay ko to nung nung inintroduce siya. Tapos, I was like, ano kayang first impression nila sa kanya, ganyan. Medyo okay pa kayo sa kanya noong una. So, okay, sige, tatahimik na lang muna ako. Hihintayin ko lumabas yung mga totoo niyang kulay.
I was more fixated na voice niya si Sunak.
Legit, alam mo nung sinabi mo yun, nung nag-panic ka regarding Sudaken, I was like, oh my God, same. Pero nabubwisit pa rin ako sa character. Pero hindi, alam mo yung hindi ko ma-fully yung galit ko kay Kujo. Dahil yung
Kasi
boses niya.
boses.
Oo! So, ayun na nga si Kujo.
Mhm.
Anong masasabi niyo kay Kujo?
Groomer. Groomer. Pero, nabanggit natin to kanina habang tayo, nag-break. And then this was mentioned like during the discussion, right? I
Yeah.
understood why Kujo acted the way he did on his first introduction because artist.
Yeah.
Like, like sometimes artists are just weird, and I can say that as someone who is an artist.
It's just really so funny when you guys were when Kujo came up, and then Kay was like, "Oh, it's Sudaken," yeah, yeah, yeah," and then you guys started talking about like your impression of Kujo. And
Yeah.
then you were saying that it makes sense because he's a stage director, and usually artists become like this because of their
Yes.
art and stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
But there's a reason he's actually insane.
He's actually fucking insane. If I say so myself. Honestly, I said this before as well. Pero, I love Sudaken. I love his character so much. There's just something about his voice. It's just that his fucking character is pissing me off. It pisses me off na siya yung pinili nilang Seiyu for Kujo.
Oh, kasi like you like the Seiyu pero the character is annoying.
It's to soften the blow. How can you be mad at Sunak? Which
Yun
is
pala
what's
Honestly.
yun.
happening with me. I'm not mad at Kujo even though he's a groomer and I it's disgusting. I don't feel anything because it's Sunak.
Right? It's like Ainana's like telling you, no, don't hate this guy. It's Sudaken. Pero honestly,
You can't
yung
hate him.
yeah, right? Yung grooming ni Kujo, it's actually very scary to think about.
Yes.
Kasi, especially since he's actually adopting
Mhm.
legit children. These
Legit
are,
traumatized children.
yeah,
And like
yun
it's
pa,
not just that.
traumatized pa.
It's not just that. I don't think it's like I'm not gonna put it past him to adopt children with like family members pa rin. Like just look at Kujo. Ten, sorry. Just look at Ten. Right? He still had his family members, but he was still adopted. Like it's like literally kidnapping. I would consider it kidnapping to be honest. Like legal kidnapping instead of adoption. I'm
He,
not gonna lie.
and like, ang ano pa nun, I forgot who said that. I really like, who said that? Someone said na Kujo's still living in the past. And
Mhm.
it's so fucking true. He is. He's so fixated on the past. And he's so fixated at the idea na his team, him, Zero, and Sakura. Sakura, what's his name?
Haruki.
Haruki. Sila ni Haruki.
Just say Haruki because like
Yeah,
Sakura, a
that's,
different image popped
nasa
up.
isip ko.
Yeah.
I forgot his first name. It was like, his last name is Sakura. What's his first name? Ayun si Haruki. Parang he can't let go of the fact that the three of them were unstoppable before. They were like the legendary. He's managing this legendary idol.
He's so obsessed with that
Yeah,
power.
right? Nah, he's very fixated on it. Nah, he just can't let it go, and it's making him act insane. Like when Ten was saying that
Yeah.
you're something something to zero ganyan ganyan, na you're unconsciously becoming him. That's fucking scary, man. Like you're here vandalizing. That's a fucking crime, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Vandalism. You're vandalizing and then you're terrorizing these idols just because you're
And
unconsciously
you're giving
becoming him, huh?
threats. They're giving threats. He's giving threats as
Yeah.
well, but he threatened to destroy like the
Yeah,
arena
right?
or like do something to the arena if they continue performing
That's
Zero
he's a
songs.
very dangerous man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't like he's doing it unconsciously. Like this is a mentally ill man. Lock him up.
Yeah.
Get help, my dude.
He's dangerous to the
He
children.
needs therapy, not to adopt more children. And I think I mentioned this when Lila was theorizing, because in the middle of our watch party we I was asking them like theories, like what do you think would happen, because we can't really do that in the discussion since the things will happen in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I was asking in the middle, and Lila was talking about the theory of Kujo being the vandalizing Zero and stuff. And I just wanted to point out it's really cool to see like how Ten realizes stuff early on. Even with the song, yung song nila, yung Natsushiyose,
Na it was
yung
stolen.
yeah,
Yung debut song. Yeah.
he was the one who realized it first, and then you see his thought process, but like he doesn't say anything to protect people. He wanted to protect Trigger because he knew that when they if they find out, parang masasaktan sila, they're gonna be hurt, they don't wanna sing it anymore and stuff. And then here he's protecting Kujo, which he shouldn't, but he's protecting him. And also protecting like the other idols as well, because Kujo is very he's the dangerous man. I just want to point that out. So where he's just being quiet about it, but you can see how uncomfortable he is when they're talking about the vandalizer, like in episode 10, in
And
the
like
when they were talking about the accent, like you can see how uncomfortable 10 was.
and
And like
like
throughout,
you
yeah,
can tell that Ben is aware that what's happening is wrong and that what Kujo what
Mm-hmm.
what's his name?
Kujo.
Takamasa. What Takamasa is doing is very wrong.
Mm,
Pero he still can't speak against him because he's been groomed to trust Takamasa.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
like I think it's very evident, especially with the confrontation scene, right? With
Mm.
Aya and when everything was revealed, even though he is like perfectly aware of what's happening, he's like he's not my father. I think it was just Aya who wasn't really aware of what's happening.
But okay, never mind.
Say
No,
Um,
less.
continue.
okay, I'll say less. And with the vandalism as well, like it's weird as well. Like he only focused on targeting Idol 7 and Rivale, but he never did anything with Trigger. Ang
Yeah.
stubborn lang talaga ng Trigger na they wanted to like jump head first into the fight. Like here is our opinion. Listen to our opinion. We will sing. And
Ang
then,
random. Random talaga.
uy,
Alam
pero,
mo, like I feel like they're the theater kids of this whole
I mean,
franchise.
they did do a musical.
Yeah,
The-
like
They
yun
had a
nga, like
dance
they're the
battle
theater
in their
kids.
first meeting.
Yeah, they're too masyado silang obsessed sa High School Musical, like they believe High School Musical will resolve everything.
Pero speaking of the acapella thing, I actually really like how it's very random, but I liked how they created the acapella. They were like
Mm-hmm.
singing acapella at first, and then nagkaroon ng transition into the acoustic version, and
Mm-hmm.
then they did the end credits in the fucking middle of the episode. I remember watching that. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
that
I was so
vividly.
confused.
I remember that vividly because when the end credit, like the end credits were showing, I was like, wait, the
Yeah.
episode's done. I feel like it was short, and then I checked it. I was like, wait, we're in the middle of the fucking episode. Why are we having an end credit? And then the lyrics absolutely captured the situation. It was really cool. I was like having goosebumps when that was happening. I was like, ah, fuck yes. Trigger always gets the acoustic versions. I've noticed that they always have like an acoustic version going on. For
It's the
some
big company. That's why.
Pero it stems, ito yun na naman yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na I really love the way that they weave the end credits and the ending song sa episode and how the
Hmm.
lyrics matches the episode. It's so cool. But anyways, going back to
I
Kujo.
just realized
Yeah.
I usually forget to look at the lyrics
Yeah, I
when they're
kept pointing
singing.
it out when we were watching. It's like, guys, look at the
Yeah.
lyrics.
Yeah, because I keep forgetting to pay attention to the lyrics. Like, why? Like, why? That's not me. I'm always paying attention to the subtitles. I
Yeah,
even pause shit when
because
I
you
like
don't like
forget
the
to read.
songs.
It's not just that. I feel like I usually pay attention to the subtitles because like it adds context to the story.
I
That's
think
like usually what I do.
it's cause there's so many things happening. So like
Probably.
the lyrics is the last thing on your mind.
Yeah, and like when there's music, I'm like, I'm just gonna chill.
I
I'm
mean,
just gonna
I
chill.
do tell you guys, like, if there's like an important lyrics naman, I point it out. So it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
Because I do notice na medyo nakakalimutan niyo yung lyrics. Kaya I'll be here to point it out for you. So, going back to Kujo, it's fine. I can say this. It's actually really interesting how different Aya thinks towards Kujo and how Ten thinks about Kujo.
I think it's cause of their situations.
Yeah,
Cause
it's very
Ten
different.
has a family
Aya
and
doesn't.
he when he was kidnapped by Kujo, when he was
It's
kidnapped
not
by Kujo.
adoption, it's just legal kidnapping.
Yeah, cause what happened with Aya is adoption.
Yes.
What happened with
With
Ten is
10,
kidnapping.
it's kidnapping.
Yeah. Ten had a family na before siya kinuha ni Kujo.
Yeah.
Aya is already in and out of the orphanage.
Yeah.
Mm,
Maybe that's why their thinking is very different and also
Yeah.
their age.
Yeah. And
yeah.
like 10 already kind of partly to a certain extent. Like the sense of family has been fulfilled already before he met Takamasu or Kujo, right?
Mm,
With Aya, since she went in and out of the foster system, one that is like very traumatizing
yeah.
for like kids in the foster system. I think that's like a given in the real world. It's very traumatizing. Number two, they were abused then. Like they had like
Mm,
an abusive family then. And so the fact that there is this father figure that is like showing her the love that she's always yearned for, that care that she always has with all like the material things, and like she can do anything she wants, and like he's not hurting her physically. It seems like she's become very attached because that's like the that's like the parental figure that she never had, but
yeah.
she wants and she's always wanted. That's why the way I viewed Kujo is like, he's my dad and he's like giving me all of these pretty dresses and he's sending me to like different countries, blah, 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 blah. Kasi yun yung fixation niya. She never
Mm-hmm.
had that. With Ten, yung fixation niya is, I just want to follow this person who adopted me because I believe it will help me in the long run. Di ba parang yun yung, I mean, it's not revealed yet, but like yun yung nakikita ko, like with like Riku and like everything he's doing to protect Riku, even though it's very hurtful the way he's protecting Riku. Parang ganon. And like, I don't know. That's the way. Like, I agree. Beep, beep.
That's also another
I agree
reason
with
why
Kay.
that's also another reason why hindi ako masyadong naanoy kay Ten this season because I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes. Stan 10. I'm a 10 Oshi, so I can
Oh, Ten is not my Oshi.
I can't handle the hate.
It doesn't mean he's not annoying though. He's still annoying, but like he's also a victim.
Mhm.
I think both statements can be true.
I mean, I was annoyed with him, but
Yeah.
I cannot
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
him
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
because
don't
I
hate
love him.
them. I don't hate them. I just think he's like very annoying because objectively he is. He is fucking
Mm,
annoying, especially with like how he's treating the
yeah,
situation and how he's treating Riku. But I also understand why. At least when the reveal will happen.
yeah.
Like it's becoming clear na parang, oh, okay, so why the reason this is happening is because of this creepy person. So
Mm.
I get it, but it doesn't mean he's not annoying. Like both statements can be true. He's annoying and he's also a victim. So
Speaking of someone annoying,
okay.
Betso, kamusta si Tamaki?
Oh, yeah, my opinion has changed.
With Tamaki?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Because in the first season, he's just genuinely annoying and childish. Like, I get where he's coming from. Again, I get where he's coming from, but it doesn't mean he's not annoying, right?
Mm,
But with season 2, I feel like there's growth. He's still immature. I mean, he's still a kid. It's a given.
yeah.
But I feel like he has matured. He is trying better. Di ba yun yung naging conflict nila ni Sogo? Na
Mm,
parang he's trying his best to please Sogo kasi he just wants to hear Sogo tell him that he's doing good.
yeah.
Pero ang nakikita lang ni Sogo is yung, or at least in his perspective, ang nakikita lang ni Sogo is yung failures niya. And that really hurt him. So I think, although he is still immature in handling his emotions, his priorities have changed. And he is a lot more of a team player na instead of like a selfish person. Parang
Yeah, I
ganon.
actually noted that down that this was the start of Tamaki's character growth, and you
Yes.
can see his EQ later on.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So
Also,
I'm
I also wrote here with
mm.
Tamaki, like it's really evident that he's fucking traumatized. Because he just trauma dumps just like that. I think I noted here it's episode 3 of season 2 in the 9-minute mark. I don't
Yeah.
remember what happened, pero yun yung ninote ko. Pero
Yeah,
basta I think that was the scene he was like trauma dumping. Like, yeah, my parents are dead.
and it's funny cuz like as a fellow traumatized person,
Yes. Yes.
as a fellow family traumatized person, it's
Exactly.
funny how with us it's just easy to say it like out of nowhere na, oh yeah,
Yeah.
ganyan ganyan ganyan,
Yeah,
but
this is what
then
happened.
like objectively speaking, it's
It's fucked
it's not
up.
okay.
Yeah, it's
You
fucked
hear how
up,
other
right?
people react to it and you realize, oh, it's not
Yeah.
right.
Like with us three or like even with the tropa, right? We can just say all of these traumatizing shit willy-nilly. Like no,
Yeah.
like 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 it doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah.
And then they will also react like, "Oh yeah, that's really shit." But parang it's like very chill your reaction nila because like
Yeah.
we all understand. But the moment you start doing the same to other people without realizing that you're doing it, and then you see their reaction and you're like, "Oh shit. I shouldn't have said that."
Dude, that's what happened to me with my client. Because my client's very chikadora yung client ko. So, we say a lot of stuff to each other.
Okay.
And he told me, he shared briefly na divorce yung parents niya. And then I think he asked about mine as well. And I was like, oh yeah, my mine's divorced too. And then he was like, oh, oh. And then I was like, wait, aren't we sharing that
Our
we
trauma?
both have divorced parents? Why are you so taken aback? And then he asked me how old I was, and I was like, I think I wasn't even 1 year old then when they split. And he was like so taken. He was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to respond to this. And I was like, why? Aren't we having
We have the
a
same
casual?
story.
Yeah, I thought we're having a casual conversation. Why are you so taken about it? Just like sink in na, oh, so not a lot of people would react to this
Yeah.
way.
Also, sometimes, right, like we're so emotionally detached from our trauma.
Yeah.
No, when we talk about it, it's almost like we don't feel anything. We even just laugh about it
It's
because
Yeah.
like
that's
the
how we cope.
weather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right?
Pero like if you really think of if you just sit, take a pause and think about what you just said, you will realize how fucked up it is.
And
And like
it's
we're talking about it like we're talking about the weather.
And it's so interesting how they captured it with Tamaki.
Exactly. And that's why I have it in my notes, because like it's very important to me,
It's
because like
very
that it really,
realistic.
yeah, it tickled my brain. I'm like, holy shit, like he just drops that, like, just, but it reminds me of like in Given with Mafu,
Yeah, yeah.
when he started talking about Yuki in that anime.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, my dead boyfriend did this," and then everyone on the table was like, "Huh?" And then Mafu's just eating,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, "I can relate."
I remember that he was like, my dead boyfriend's mother gave it to me, the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
guitar.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And they were,
Yeah, it was that
and
scene.
Haruki's like, huh?
Huh?
Dead boyfriend?
and then and then Maf was just eating like nothing happened. Like he didn't just drop a bomb on his bandmates.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that it's like very, it's funny to us because
Mm,
we're family traumatized, right? We have
yeah.
family trauma, but it's realistic. That's usually that's what happens with people with trauma when they're
That's
talking
how we
about
react.
their past.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's such, for kasi that's our normal, yun din eh. That's our normal. And so it's like desensitized, we're desensitized from it.
Yeah.
Pero to other people it's like fucked up. Pero realistically, the moment you start talking about how it affected you, and I think it also showed with like Tamaki, once he starts talking about like how lonely he is and like how painful it is to lose his sister, blah blah blah, that's when the emotions come
Yeah.
usually. But when you're just talking about the situation, it's like nothing because you're detached, you're emotionally
Mm,
detached. So obviously you're gonna cry when you start talking about the emotions,
yeah.
something that you're trying to detach yourself from. And that's true with me because I remember, just an anecdote, my ex's ex, because we became friends, right? I
Mm,
know, unusual, whatever. But she asked me one time, how were you able to talk about your trauma without like being in pain? Because like she has a lot of trauma, and it's difficult for her to talk about it.
mm,
And I remember that time I didn't have a proper answer, so I don't remember what I said, but I do know na I just pulled a random, like some random bullshit out of my ass because I didn't know what to answer. But later on, years later, I realized why. It's because mentally in my head, I am emotionally detached from the situation. It's
mm,
like I am watching it externally. It's like I am just a viewer of a dramatic TV show. That's how I
mm.
see it. But at the moment you start asking me about how it made me feel and how it affected me, I'm gonna cry.
The
I'm
thing
gonna
is,
bawl.
the situation itself, you're used to it because you're living in
Yeah,
it, so that's like your
yeah,
norm basically. So
yes,
like it's easy to say it casually because like it's
yeah.
like saying I like Ainana.
Yeah,
I don't have
because
any, it's a
yeah.
situation I'm living in, like
Also,
I work in this certain company. That's a fact.
yes,
That's what I do
yes.
every day.
So
It's a
I
daily
have
thing.
family trauma because it's what I'm living.
Yeah.
Also, add to that fact, it's not just that. That's your reality. So you're used to
Mm,
that type of like environment. It's also the fact that since you are in that environment, and it involves repressing emotions, it's become normal for you to detach the emotional part of it.
mm,
So when you start talking about the situation, the emotional aspect of the situation is non-existent.
yeah.
That's why you always cry, and like the pain becomes emphasized once you start addressing the emotions that you
Mm,
put to the side because you don't want to
yeah.
address it. So yeah, so no, it's funny that Tamaki scene is very funny to me, but it's very realistic. So
Mm,
that's why I noted it down. So I'm like, that's very true. That's very real.
yeah.
So yeah, it had like a very special space in my notebook because I feel like I have to put it in my notebook.
The thing about Metso as well is that they're both growing. Like you can see Tamaki's EQ is like growing. He's being more mature about it. Sogo as well. He's learning how to be open to his emotions and like talk about his problems and stuff. But whenever something happens, like whenever they're growing, at the same time, they're like they take they take one step forward and then take two steps back.
I mean, that's very realistic with like healing.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
it's funny because they're both. they both have family issues and they both don't
Yes.
know how to deal with these issues. Tapos pinagsama mo silang dalawa and now they're just like contradicting each other and
It's
they're
ano
hurting
daw,
each other.
it's forced couples therapy according to the good president.
It's like the president, as I've mentioned, the president's like taking stray traumatized strays, so now he's just like bringing them together to heal together.
The thing with Metso as well, they in this season they're starting to be more considerate of each other, and
Yes.
that kind of backfired because they're both trying to be considerate.
So they're
Oh
not
yeah,
communicating.
that's
Yeah,
true. That is so true.
It's like they went from one extreme end to the other.
yeah.
They don't know how to, and it's actually a really good idea for the creators to put them both together, because not only do their voices, I like Metso because their voices fit together, but they also, their attitude towards a certain thing is like different from one another. So very opposite ends of the spectrum sila. Tapos pinagsama mo sila, so obviously they're going to hit yung what they call this, like they're going to
Butt
give me,
heads.
yeah. And so parang it's also a way for them to learn, kasi
Yeah.
obviously I know this way and you know this way, but since we're together and we're opposite from each other, we're learning from each other to do the opposite way of what we're doing, because what we're doing is not, it's not helping us. Tapos, so they're helping each other grow. It's just that they don't have an external force helping them to do so. And Yamato's trying his best. He's
Yeah.
He's
doing his
being the
best.
leader.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
being the
trying to
leader.
be the leader. Like he's chill, but like he's trying to be he's trying his best.
It's funny
He's
as well
like
with
getting
Yamato.
dragged.
Yeah, Yamato doesn't want, he doesn't even want to be an idol in the first place.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
he becomes a leader because he's the oldest and now he has all these responsibilities that he can't run away from.
That's true.
It's like, okay, I'm forced to be the leader, so I have to be the leader. But he's actually becoming a good leader, to be honest. But yeah, with Aya, I feel so bad with Tamaki. Like, he's doing all these things for Aya, and then nung na-meet na niya si Aya, biglang hindi nagwo-work out yung gusto niya mangyari. And that's got to hurt. Like, so what was the point of me doing all these things then?
And like
Parang ganon.
if I was in Tamaki's shoes, honestly I would genuinely think Aya is being selfish. Kasi
Mhm.
like, I mean, if you, I mean, at least for now, right? I mean, sabi mo, di ba, wala namang continuation yung kay Aya. Ano,
More on mezzo focus na siya
yeah, yeah, yeah.
later on.
So like, parang from what we know from Aya is that her reason for staying with Kujo, apart from the fact that she's being groomed, I'm not gonna deny that. It's like very shallow then. Na parang he's doing this for me, he's like giving me dresses, blah blah blah. And so with if I was Tamaki and I'm doing all of these struggles and I'm hurting and I'm crying over her and I'm like doing all of these hardships just to find her. And now that I found her, she's gonna tell me that she wants to stay with her adoptive father because she's getting all of these things. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I understand why Aya is saying that. Kasi yun nga, she's being groomed.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
like, I
but
can
will
say that.
Tamaki understand
Yeah,
that?
yun nga. Like, I can only say that because I'm an external viewer of their situation. But
Yeah.
if I was in Tamaki's situation, right, and I'm seeing it from his perspective, I'm gonna be embittered.
Mhm.
And
Sobra.
the thing about this that we have to think about Tamaki's personality as well.
Yeah.
He's just starting to be more mature and thinking
Yeah.
maturely, but it doesn't mean that he's not gonna revert back to his like
Yes.
perspective. So obviously, even if we parang right now as we are, if we are in Tamaki's shoes, we'd probably be able to like think more objectively because
Yes.
that's
Because like
how
you're
we are.
older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in a way we're in a way we're more mature.
Yeah.
And
And like
so
we're older and like it's just our personality to kind
yeah,
of
our
try to see the
personality.
bigger picture.
Mm.
Yeah.
But with Tamaki, like, I doubt that he'd be able to understand where Aya's coming from. All he knows is that Kujo's a bad guy, and
Yeah.
then and that Aya's being taken away
Selfish.
by this bad guy. Like I
Yeah,
don't
yun din.
even think that he
Thinks
sees
that
Aya
she's
as
selfish. Yeah, because
selfish.
like Tamaki kind of like puts Aya on a pedestal then.
I feel like he only thinks na Kujo's a bad guy. Kujo's taking Aya away. I have to do something about it. I do not
Yeah.
understand. Like, even yung, di ba yung panic niya when Aya was like running away, he
Yeah.
doesn't fully understand why Aya's still going towards Kujo. And then Ten was there parang stopping him from going any further. And he doesn't understand this. All he thinks about is that Ten is trying to
Take away
keep
my
me away from
sister.
Aya. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Aya's being she's there walking away with this bad guy. Parang ganon. That's all he
Yeah.
thinks about.
Yeah.
The healthiest outcome with Tamaki and Aya in Tamaki's situation, what I'm thinking is he's gonna work hard so he could provide Aya what Kujo is providing
Yeah.
her.
Especially
That's the
since
healthiest one I could think of.
Yeah, especially since in Aya's perspective, the reason she's staying with Kujo is because Kujo is providing her with things that she wants and needs. And if
Mm.
Tamaki could provide that, then possibly he could take Aya with him.
But another thing is like Aya wants to help Kujo.
Yeah, yun din. I think that's the grooming part
Yeah.
na. That's like the grooming aspect at play na. That's why. That's why yun nga sabi ko nga na again, it's just my perspective. If I was the one in Tamaki's shoes, I would resent Aya kasi I would think that she's being selfish. And at the
Mhm.
same time, as an external viewer, I would also understand why Aya says that. It's because she's being groomed. Like I get it. And
Mhm.
it's just a fucked up situation. Honestly, it's just a really fucked up situation involving two children.
You know what hurts me the most during that confrontation scene was when Aya no when Ten said na he was Aya's older brother now, and
Mhm.
then Tamaki was like, "No, you're Riku's older brother. Aya's my little sister." But Kujo's like, "No." Ay, Kujo. Ten was like, "No, Aya's my little sister now." Parang it's just cementing the fact na Kujo just broke two families.
Yeah,
This
it's like
bitch.
yeah, parang I mean again I get the grooming and the manipulation, but it's true na parang he broke his own brother's heart and he broke Tamaki's heart. Alam mo yun? That whole situation is just really fucked up, honestly.
And what's sad about is that all of those people involved are children. Like,
Yes.
yeah, technically speaking, legal na si Tere and si Riku.
But it
But that
started
doesn't,
when he was a child.
yeah, but that
He
doesn't
was
change the fact that
13,
there's
right?
yes,
14, right?
13,
13,
13.
yeah. He was
Mm.
still a child when everything happened. And then Aya is still a child. Tapos, Rico, also with like Riku, when Ten disappeared, he was also a child. Tamaki, he is still a child. So, like, everyone that, like, Kujo is hurting are all children.
Yun nga, parang even if technically legal si Rico and si Ten right
Yeah.
now, they're still teenagers.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
they're still not adult enough to have to deal with it, and they shouldn't
Yes.
have to deal with it
Yeah.
They
in
can't
the
even
first
drink
place.
yet.
Yeah. Right.
Honestly, no one should go through with that, let alone young people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So,
and that whole situation with Kujo is just like a really heavy one. Nah, everything is just fucked up for everybody, especially with like their current situation and their current resources. Because
and
like
all
right now, Tamaki can't really do anything.
and the thing is, he's doing it for selfish reasons. Like, obviously every groomer is like doing it for selfish
Yeah,
reasons, but his fucking reason is just to create an idol.
It's very
Like,
yeah,
shallow.
yeah, it's very shallow.
and
So,
he's destroying all of these families' lives just because he's like hung up on the past and he can't move on.
yeah.
Mhm.
So he's not letting everyone else move on with him.
Fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
Salamat sa boses niya.
Tourist Pause.
Hello! another tourist spot.
Kaya mo pa ba?
Pagod na ba kayo? um, and since we've been introduced to Rivale, I want to recommend a Rivale song. And this is called Kokoro Harebare. And again, this is a spoiler song, as usual. This is from part 5, so you can get this song if you clear part 5, chapter 12.4. It's released within the game, and they performed this song again on the 7th anniversary live. That's called Only Once, Only Seventh. So if you haven't watched it, I highly suggest you do. Again, it's a virtual idol performance, so it's the actual idols that we're performing, not the seiyus. And it's a really good song. It's a very cheerful song, and context wise, it's mostly them just having fun and just enjoying being together. And the lyrics as well, it's just them saying that everything's parang this song is a very positive tone, lyrics wise, and also the melody itself. And it's like saying that no matter how much parang no matter na merong painful and like there's sad things around, there's still going to be happiness around us. And there's like the sun is shining, there's the wind is there. It's like forever we'll be happy together, and just us laughing and singing together. And it's just a very precious moment between Rivale. That's why I really like it.
Hooray for Revale shippers.
Exactly. And I really like the guitar in this as well. It's just a very relaxing song to listen to. And I don't know, whenever I listen to this song, I just feel very happy because it's a very happy song. Especially with IDOLiSH7 as a context, it's just very painful all around. So just having a happy song is a really nice nice thing. And especially since it's a Rivale song, they've been through so much shit. So just seeing them being like, even if there's so many sad things in the world, we're happy together. Just them singing that way is just very wholesome for me. It's a really nice break to have. Um, and I really like the dance for this as well. And I really like Yuki's ponytail in this performance. So yeah, the context for that is them just looking for happiness. That's it. Really.
Because they're miserable as fuck.
Yeah, we're all miserable. I mean, part 4 was the most miserable arc, I think. So part 5 was such a breath of fresh air. Not really. There's still some things in part 5, but like it's just a really happy song. That's all I can say. Again, this is on Spotify. How many times I'm gonna say this? It's on Spotify. But it's in kanji form, so I suggest you Google it first. It's Kokoro Harebare by Rivale, and then you can just copy paste the kanji and then just put it on Spotify, and then it's gonna. Or you just search Rivale. It's there. ano, hulaan nyo kung ano dun yung Kokoro
Or
Harebare.
or we can just tweet about it and they can click the link if they want, just to make it easier for everyone else.
No, just search Rivale. Just listen to all of their songs.
So ibig
We're not
sabihin,
that nice.
ibig sabihin, they just want you guys to suffer.
I just want you guys to listen to all of the songs, actually. That's why I'm recommending different songs that aren't in the anime, just to force you to listen to the other songs. And then when the production team thinks, oh, a lot of the global fans are listening to the song, so then maybe they'll release a global game.
Ito yung ultimate agenda ni Brie.
Exactly, because I really want a global game. That's it. Listen to more recommendations. Thank you. I doubt that they'll release a global game, to be honest.
Tourist spots.
Besides Tamaki, like we've established na Tamaki changed your impression from like your first impression of him? Like, are there other characters that changed your impression?
Mm,
No, because I
no, no.
think
Si Tamaki lang yung pinaka very significant yung growth compared to season 1. At
yeah.
least in my perspective.
Kasi I feel like with the other characters, it's like gradual. Alam mo
Mm-hmm.
yun.
Mm-hmm.
With Tamaki, there's like a very obvious change between the seasons.
So,
So,
from season one, you guys chose Gaku and Ryu as your
Revale.
favorites so far. Iba na yung Oshi nyo.
Oh, I've always said
I'm
I'm
still
waiting for Revale.
oh wait, I still like Gaku. It's just that he wasn't that prominent in season 2. So you like I right now I'm gonna be like Revali kasi yun yung focus ngayon.
Naku, parang mahirap na i-wish mo maging prominent si Gaku. Sure ka ba dyan?
Ay bakit?
Gusto mo
Masasaktan
siya
ako?
mag-suffer? Grabe ka
Oh
naman.
no! Grabe
You're gonna
naman.
see more of Gaku in third beat. That's all I'm gonna say
Okay.
for.
Okay. I'm scared. Kasi every time you say something like you're gonna see it in third year, you're gonna see it in this like season, it feels like a threat.
It is a threat. What do you mean? Pero,
You're
so,
threatening me.
I am. You're both choosing Rivali. Like, which Rivali? Like, both of them?
Yeah, both of them. I like both of them.
Oh, Rivali Oshis. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there something that you wish to see in third beat?
Oh, I have a list. Are you
May
ready?
Okay,
may
go ahead.
na-mention ako kanina, 'di ba? Sabi ko, like, we're probably gonna see it in season 3. Nakalimutan ko na. Nabanggit ako kanina.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yun eh. Oh no! Oh
Okay, I'm
no!
gonna give my list while you look for it.
Yeah.
So first one is Zool
Mm-hmm.
because we've seen the live and we love the songs. Even though I know they're annoying in the first part
Yeah.
of season 3, I am looking forward to them.
Mm-hmm.
Another is see more of Ten's reasoning and what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
Because I'm really curious why he's so adamant on staying with Kujo, even though he knows and feels that everything is wrong. Another is Nagi's story. We haven't gotten to Nagi's history yet. um,
Oh yeah.
uh, Yamato's daddy issues that have been reeking since season 1.
Yes.
Your theory.
Mhm. And more Revale, even if they're going to suffer, I just feel like they will. But more Revale. And of course, what bento will the president buy IDOLiSH7 next?
For
Because
everybody's
this
knowledge, Kay has been listing down the bento evolution.
Yes.
this
To see
season
how
it was
successful they
sushi
are.
box and traditional bento.
Congratulations. How about Lila?
Everything Kay said,
Yeah.
plus, I know I mentioned this even nung nanonood pa tayo, just like the watch party.
Mm,
I wanna see Banri perform. Either as a flashback or like at the current time. And it doesn't have to be in like a very like public stage. It can just be like within the company. Alam mo yun? Just like for
mm,
old time's sake. I just wanna see Banri perform.
Banri
yeah.
solo debut.
Let's go.
Yes! Amen! But
So
yeah.
before we go with our ratings, is there something else that you want to say?
Wala.
Wala.
Wala na.
Wala. Wait. Let me check my notes again. May nilagay akong quote dito, but like I don't remember the context anymore, so never mind.
What was the quote?
Oh, may in-underline ako dito, nakalagay dito. Beep, beep, reminder to me, Momo fan service guy.
Oh, I
What
said
was
that
that?
already. Cause
Oh, you
he
did.
knows,
Okay.
cause he's a fanboy before, so he
All
knows
right.
how to. He knows
Like
what
do
the
fan
fan
service.
wants. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, got it. Okay, yun lang. Yun lang.
Okay, ratings then.
So for plot, I give it 28% out of 30.
Mm,
I like the plot now better than season 1. That's why I gave it 1% higher.
yeah.
Execution, I gave it 27 out of 30%. It's slightly lower than season 1 purely because there's so much happening and I was watching with zero brain cell. So hindi ko siya ma-process. Animation, I give it 17% out of 20 because it got better. And justify ko siya. I know we complain about how jarring the dancing is. This time, it didn't feel as jarring as the first season, and it didn't throw me off like last time. It's gotten smoother for me. And also, I want to point it out again, they're really good at animating panic. Lalo na nung sa part ni Mitsuki when he's emceeing and he doesn't know what to do. It's really good. They're really good at that. I love it.
Oh my god, I
I
noted
noted
that.
that
Me
one
too.
as well.
I noted it.
I said I said whenever a character is panicking or having an attack, you can really feel the suffocation and the panic.
Yeah. And yung
I
for me
always hold my
naman,
breath
Mm.
during
yeah,
those
for me
scenes.
naman, with like, ano, may time mark pa siya eh. Sabi ko, it's such a nice way to depict panic kasi merong muffled voices and like being on autopilot. Because like that
Yeah.
scene where
Mhm.
Mitsuki, they were filming and then
Yeah.
he was like panicking internally and then the voices of everyone is muffled. Tapos
Mm.
he's just functioning even though his mind is elsewhere. He's like, his body is still like functioning as intended, so he's like dissociated basically.
Yeah.
So like that's like a really good depiction of panic.
And then yung sound na parang
Mhm.
yung ganon, parang you
Yes,
could like
tinnitus, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
At tapos parang the way that they created the environment as well, you can feel the suffocation.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so acting, same score as last time, which is 12% out of 15%. I really just don't have any complaints. Wala lang nag-stand out talaga sa akin. And soundtrack, of course, is perfect score. I love the songs better this time. Maybe because I'm biased. Kasi almost all
Rivale.
of them is Rivale. So my overall score is 89%.
Ako yung pinakamataas feeling ko. So for me, I'm gonna do plot and execution at the same time. They're both perfect for me. I am certain, at least based to sa pagka-hype ni Brie, na season 3 is gonna be better. Pero right now, based on what I've seen, my reactions, how I felt about everything, I think it's perfect. Sabi ni Kay kanina, right, the execution was lower for them kasi ang dami nangyayari. For me, I actually like the way they did it kasi although it was overwhelming, I felt like it was realistic.
Yeah.
Like the
Mhm.
depiction of like the events happening at the same time. Kasi like in others like shit I've watched and even like stories I've read, usually kapag maraming nangyayari, sometimes only one incident is focused and then next book na yung etong incident na to and then next book na tong incident na to, or like it's always like first problem resolved, second problem resolved, third problem resolved, parang ganun siya lagi, parang it's always like consecutive, but here everything is happening at the same time and it makes sense kasi like every almost there's like several characters who are like heavily intertwined, so it would make sense na, you know, shit will go down at the same time.
Yeah.
Parang ganon. And then, so yeah, I gave both 30 out of 30. For the animation, I gave it point five more. Because before it was 7%, now it's 7.5. I can see the improvement. However, I still don't like the CGI. Even if my counter argument na si Kay, I still don't like it. It's still very jarring for me. Like it's such an obvious distinction between the normal animation and the CGI, and it feels very incohesive, uncohesive. Basta yon, hindi ko alam kung
Mm.
ano. For the acting, I actually don't know why I gave it a lower score. Kasi last time I gave it a 9.
Yeah.
Now I gave it an 8.5. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. Pero, ang ano ko lang, ang reason ko lang why it's not perfect, or, yeah. Kasi, I haven't really found a moment where I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Mm.
that is one, like, yes. Like, that voice acting, that voice is, yes. Parang ganun. Like, I haven't
Mm.
had that yet. And I'm waiting. I might
Yeah.
get that in the third season, but right now I haven't found that yet. For the soundtrack, it's the same as last time. It's 4% out of 5%. For the acting, hindi ko pala nasabi yung score ko. It's 12.75% out of 15.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So for the soundtrack, it's the same reason as before. It's my favorite. I would say it's better. I could have given it a higher score, but they still aren't songs that I would want to add to my playlist.
Mm,
It's good, but not my favorite. So like I wouldn't give it anything higher than 8, but I will not give it any lower score because it's still good.
mm.
So overall, it's still my score is still high, 91.75%.
This is bad. I have the lowest score.
Shit.
Why?
No
Yeah.
changing.
I I
No
saved I
changing.
saved my score because I already rated season 3. So I saved my score for season 3, I guess. My
Oh,
season 3
I
is
feel
very
like
high.
I feel like season 3 for me is also gonna be very high. Again, especially with how you're hyping it up. I have
Maybe
high
I shouldn't hype it.
expectations. I have high expectations, Brie, and it's gonna be your fault if it doesn't meet my expectations.
Maybe I should hype season 3 's shit. So for me, my plot and my execution are both 27. Again, I didn't give it a perfect score because I'm waiting for season 3. But maybe I shouldn't say that anymore. um
You're
as
giving me high expectations.
I know. As mentioned by Leela, I really love how the stories are simultaneous. Is that the characters have each like they each have specific arcs, but they're simultaneous because in real life we don't like wait for someone else's arc to finish before
Before we start
for
our own.
before we start our own. So that was really nice to see.
Imagine, Lila, 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 tapusin mo na yung family trauma mo. Ako naman.
Mag-closure ka na para
Pakabilisan
Oo.
naman.
Oo, pakibilisan. It's my time. Medyo ano tayo, lampas na tayo sa time frame.
um for animation, again, my ano here is that it's also cinematography technically, and I really love how they do cinematography here. I know it's animated, but I really love how they use camera details, camera angles, and like certain details about it. I gave it a 16 out of 20. For acting, I gave it a 13.5, and it's mostly because of Yamato. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I had goosebumps when he was pretending with Yuki. He was like supposedly acting. I really love his voice there. Shiraimu like did a very
Oh
good
yeah,
fucking
I
job
forgot about that.
with that
Yeah.
scene because it was like giving goosebumps. Like I know that he's acting, but like shit, that felt real.
Like he really is an actor.
Yeah.
Like you can tell he's the actor of IDOLiSH7.
Right? So, and it's very surprising because like the animes that I've seen Shiraimu in, like the voice actor, is different from Ainana. So it was like, fuck, you did that, bro. I'm proud of you. So that's why I gave it a higher score. Soundtrack again, it's still perfect because I love the songs. I'm not gonna say anything more. And all in all, I gave it an 88.5%. I
Our
mean, it's
scores
just
aren't that far though,
yeah, I know,
considering last time.
but like I thought I'd be the highest. That's the thing. I've always thought that I'd be the high. When I was like doing my ratings, I was like, oh no, I'm giving it a very high score. I feel like I'm being biased about it. I thought I was being biased, but I'm not. So again, we're going to be averaging our ratings by season 3. So for
Yes.
now, those are ratings for
Yeah.
season 2.
So
Stay tuned.
basically, for season 3, they're not gonna hear our like season ratings. It's gonna be an overall rating na.
No, we're still going to say our season ratings and then
Oh,
our overall
okay.
ratings.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that.
Obviously, I don't listen.
So that is our discussion for IDOlish 7 second beat. There's so much shit going on, and season 3 would have more. I'm I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Amen.
I definitely did. I also enjoyed my drinks. By the way, I'm drinking Asahi right now. This is my second can.
Asahi, baka naman.
Baka naman.
Sponsor.
I'm the Yamato of the group. If you haven't noticed yet. um,
Who's K? Who's K?
K could be Mitsuki because Mitsuki sometimes like join Yamato in his drinking.
I'm not that loud when I'm drunk. I get very quiet.
That's true. I mean, I
That's
don't
true.
get drunk like Yamato. We don't like get red and stuff. So it's just the drinking
We
habit.
don't have Asian glow.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned again for season 3.
Side?
Tracked?
Thank you for listening. Let us all gently decorate the curtains of the universe together.
Oh,
Nox!
As per Yuki and Momo. Thank you. Bye bye.
bye.
Bye.